Opinion PUBG, Battlegrounds Gameplay. PUBG, Battlegrounds is a free-to-play battle royale game that pits up to 100 players against each other in various maps and modes. The game features realistic graphics, weapons, and physics, as well as a variety of vehicles, items, and events that add excitement and challenge to the gameplay. Here are some of the main aspects of the gameplay. The objective of the game is to be the last player or team alive by eliminating or avoiding other players. Players can choose to play solo, duo, or in squads of up to 4 players. Players can also choose to play in first-person or third-person perspective. The game starts with players parachuting from an airplane onto a map of their choice. The maps vary in size, terrain, weather, and loot availability. Some of the most popular maps are Irnjal, Miramar, Sanyuk, Vikendi, and Karikin. Once on the ground, players have to scavenge for weapons, armor, ammo, healing items, and other useful equipment. Players can also use vehicles to travel faster or run over enemies. Players have to be careful of the red zones, which are randomly marked areas that are bombed periodically. As the game progresses, a circular blue zone will start to shrink and force players to move closer to a randomly chosen safe zone. Players who are outside the blue zone will take damage over time and eventually die. The blue zone will keep shrinking until only one player or team remains. The game also has various modes that offer different gameplay experiences. Some of the most popular modes are Ranked Mode, which is a competitive mode with stricter rules and rewards, Arcade Mode, which is a casual mode with shorter matches and different settings, and Custom Mode, which is a mode where players can create their own matches with custom rules and parameters. Here are some of the tips that can help you improve your gameplay. Learn the controls and settings. The game has a lot of controls and settings that can affect your performance and experience. You should familiarize yourself with the basic controls, such as movement, aiming, shooting, looting, healing, etc. You should also adjust the settings to suit your preference and device, such as graphics, sound, sensitivity, etc. Choose your landing spot wisely. The game starts with you parachuting from an airplane onto a map of your choice. You should choose your landing spot based on your playstyle and strategy. If you want to avoid early fights and loot peacefully, you should land in a remote or low-populated area. If you want to get into action and loot quickly, you should land in a hot or high-populated area. You should also consider the flight path of the plane and the location of the safe zone when choosing your landing spot. Loot smartly and efficiently. Once on the ground, you should loot for weapons, armor, ammo, healing items, and other useful equipment as fast as possible. You should prioritize getting a gun and a helmet first, then a vest and a backpack. You should also look for attachments and scopes that can improve your weapons. You should avoid looting unnecessary or duplicate items that can fill up your inventory. You should also use the quick loot menu or the tab menu to loot faster. Stay in the safe zone and avoid the blue zone. As the game progresses, a circular blue zone will start to shrink and force players to move closer to a randomly chosen safe zone. Players who are outside the blue zone will take damage over time and eventually die. You should always pay attention to the map and the timer to know where the next safe zone is and how much time you have to get there. You should also plan your route and mode of transportation carefully to avoid enemies or obstacles. Use cover and concealment. The game has realistic graphics, weapons, and physics, which means that bullets can penetrate or ricochet off different materials and surfaces. You should always use cover and concealment to protect yourself from enemy fire and sight. Cover is anything that can stop bullets, such as walls, rocks, trees, etc. Concealment is anything that can hide you from view, such as grass, bushes, smoke grenades, etc. You should also change your position frequently to avoid being predictable or flanked. Aim carefully and shoot wisely. The game has realistic ballistics and recoil, which means or deviate over distance and weapons can kick back when fired. You should aim carefully and compensate for these factors when shooting at enemies. You should also shoot wisely and choose the right weapon, mode of fire, range, and angle for each situation. You should avoid shooting unnecessarily or recklessly, as this can reveal your location or waste your ammo. Communicate effectively and cooperate with your team. The game is more fun and easier when played with friends or teammates. You should communicate effectively and cooperate with your team to coordinate your actions and strategies. You should use voice chat or text chat to communicate with your teammates, but only as needed. You should also use pings, markers, or compass directions to convey important information quickly and easily. You should also share loot, revive down teammates, or provide cover fire when needed. Have fun and enjoy the game. The game is a game after all, and you should have fun and enjoy it. You should not take the game too seriously or stress yourself too much over wins or losses. You should also be respectful and friendly to other players, regardless of their skill level or behavior. You should remember that everyone is playing for fun and entertainment.